Shocking news for the jobs markets. Shocking news for, well, WW3 news. Hopefully not, obviously. It's all a bit of theater, to be honest. Anyway, we're going to be talking about things going on in the market today. The macros spooking everybody out. Taking a look at the charts, the Bitcoin charts, the Ethereum charts, the Solana charts. We got a lot of stuff. Stick around. It's going to be a good time. And of course, to answer your questions, second half of the stream, so make sure you stick around for those good times. Okay? Guaranteed good times. Well, 99% guaranteed. Let's go. Guys. Poland activates air defense system at Russian drone incursion. Oh my God, World War III is going to happen. Oh, could it get any worse? Oh my God, Israel's bombing Qatar. Oh, World War III is going to happen. Markets are saying no. Markets are like, it's a big nothing burger. Couple drones, one ran into somebody's house and knocked the roof off. Nobody died. It's not a big deal. Qatar, bit of theater there. Apparently, the U.S. plane flew out from the airbase, refueled the planes. The Qataris, and everybody knew, everybody was in on it. It's a bit of theater again. Markets don't give a shit currently. Okay, S&P 500 futures up 0.27% as of right now because we're live. Okay, check that out. Interesting. Markets do not care about any of that geopolitical mess. Markets didn't even care about the really crazy jobs news yesterday, which honestly, the Biden regime lied so much. It's crazy, man. By the way, JP Morgan sees Fed rate cut despite CPI risk. JP Morgan expects 25 basis point cut in September. Even with CPI uncertainty, inflation is no longer the driving factor. It's the jobs, baby. But we do have CPI data coming in tomorrow on September 11th, okay? Oh, boy. Last three CPI data releases resulted in pretty decent drops for BTC. Will it drop again? I don't know. Let's see, Ted. Let's see. Check this out. U.S. job growth overstated by 911,000 jobs. So the Labor Department said the U.S. added 911,000 fewer jobs in the year ending March 2025 than previously reported. So that's Biden's year, essentially, right? So that, remember last year we were sharing the jobs. Look, the jobs number's not doing all that bad. They were just lying, man. They were just effing lying. Pumping up the numbers to make the previous regime look better. Anyway, yes, I'm using the word regime on purpose. Cutting the monthly average from 147,000 jobs to about 71,000. That's crazy. This figure is preliminary revision based on state tax records with final numbers due in February. Economists expect the adjustment may be less severe, with the report raising concerns the labor market was weaker than thought even before its recent slowdown. So the good news is got to be close to the bottom. The bad news is that's not great. But again, the market saw that and said, year-old data, screw it, we don't care. Fed's going to cut. Labor markets are going to get better. It'll be fine. Barf, what's up, man? Nice to see you. Hey, everyone's doing this. We'll catch up during the Bitunix bit. Now, got to use that time, brother. Bitcoin right now, just chilling here, right at the key level. We've been talking about this for the last few days. Currently, nothing super exciting happening with Bitcoin. You put us back over the 50-day EMA, then it's exciting. Then we got things to talk about. Right now, we're just kind of consolidating. We're just kind of chilling. If anything happens, sees it brings us back down to this $107,000 level, probably a bid area. Okay, either that or bid on the breakout of the 50-day EMA around $113,000, targeting new highs around maybe $130,000. Parasites who influences are welcome, Star K. Welcome. Who hurt you, brother? Oh boy. I know. Life's crazy. Easier to blame other people for your bad decisions. But hey, if it helps, man, I'm rooting for you to win. Okay. Whatever losses you've incurred, you can make it back. Okay. The sooner you take personal accountability for whatever's going on in your life, you're going to get better, man. There's a path out there for you to do well. Okay. Anyway, don't let the bearish mindset take over your brain, guys. It'll fuck you up. The bears are dirty, stinky beasts. Okay? And remember, the only one in charge of what's going on in your life is you. It's a very liberating thing when you realize that. Anyway, besides the point. This is what I've been looking at for Bitcoin right now. Either it shows strength or we get a dip back down to the area of interest. Now, guys, quick updates here for you, of course, on the current trades. Don't have Bitcoin trade open right now. Although maybe I should at that 113K break. Anyway, besides the point, Pengu trades still sitting in profits. Solana trades still chilling in profits. Of course, we're swinging for the fence on that one. This Pengu trade feels like a reasonable, not too crazy take profit level. But anyway, guys, you want to get signed up to Bitunix. Doing a lot of my futures trading over there these days. You can join me, of course. No KYC, no VPN, no BS. Just good times, okay? So if you want to short the rips, long the dips, well, you know, you need a good place to do it at. Bitunix got deep liquidity, all the hot coins, and there's never been a better time to sign up. $400 deposit bonus. You put $2,000 or more in to get $400 back. Crazy trading bonus. You can see all the trading bonuses over there. Not going to bother you with all the numbers there. VIP level 3 when you use my link. So that's going to get you a 30% fee discount straight away. Plus, we're giving away $1,000. So let's give away $1,000 more today. Now, we currently have a lot of people on the list. 454 people on the list currently. So we're excluding all the previous winners. Let Grok think about it for a few minutes. See if Elon's bought any new GPUs since yesterday. Interpreting request. Come on, Grok. Everybody on the internet's waiting here, buddy. Crypto Bondo 7. My crypto bags have taken a bigger haircut than what your barber did to you. Classic. Okay, here we go. 67 and 439. Interesting. 67 and 439. Let's go. 439 is going to be right over here. This is nice. Nice. Check this out. This guy has put in, let's see where it is there. This guy put in $95, getting $500 back. Enjoy it. I hope you make a good trade and make a bunch of money off of your free $500. So that was 439. The other guy is 67. 67. Okay, let's go with 67 here, right on the other side. Here we go. Nice. All right, here we go. Check this out. This guy put in $868. We got a nice little deposit bonus back initially, which is probably about $100 or something like that. An extra $500 on top of that. Not bad, man. Not bad. That's awesome. It's good shit. Love it. Congratulations to today's winners. Of course, you got to check your user ID. We're not putting up email addresses for obvious reasons, protect people's privacy. So you have to go check your user ID, claim that reward center like tomorrow. Okay, it's a spreadsheet, guys. They'll manually put it in for you tomorrow. Anyway, thanks to guys at Bitunix for today's $1,000 giveaway. Come back tomorrow, give away more free money. It'll be awesome. Okay, so continuing. Mike Ibolio said, the issue with this market is that everyone believes there's only one more pump. That would lead me to believe this market has already had topped or is very close. No, I think I like your reasoning here. We're going to go through it, but I'm going to give my opinion on it. Reason being, if there's only one more pump, everyone will try to front run it. The hallmark of a healthy bull market is no one is even thinking of selling it. Hence where we were 1 month ago at peak Tom Lee digital asset treasury mania. That's when you're actually supposed to sell. That's already rolled over. RIP digital asset treasury intellectualizers. So now the best case is an October pump. And if you are ready, if you're reading this thinking, I agree, my coin is different, may God have mercy on your soul. I like the contrarian take here, Mike. My issue with the idea that everyone believes there's only one more pump at the market is that it's actually wrong in the other direction. It's not just one more pump left in the market. Everyone's exhausted, okay? It's been a very difficult cycle. There's been no time to rest. Everyone's been fucked up by PTSD from stuff like FTX. And then we just run right into the next crazy, which is everything that's been happening in the last few years. You know, the Biden crackdown and the massive crashes and the tariff nonsense and World War III breaking out multiple times and all that kind of stuff. It's been a trying market, but the business cycle has barely even started. Okay, we're still moving into the expansion phase. Now, could we always get some wild card stuff happen? Sure. But more than likely, it's not that there's only one more pump left, it's that there's probably dozens of pumps left, and that the market cycle still has a shit ton of fuel left in it, and it's going to go for a lot longer than most people realize. The PTSD keeps people calling the top every time there's a tiny fractional retracement in Bitcoin. Okay? It's real. It's real. The top will come in when everybody believes we're only going to keep going up forever. Okay? I don't even know what Lark is saying with how fast he's talking. I'm sorry. I know. Sometimes I talk too fast. I need to slow down. I got to remember not everybody's firing on all the, I don't know what's going on in my brain sometimes, but I hear you. I hear you, man. I hear you. Okay. Anyway, not sure I can fix it though. I think it's a personality disorder. Steve Depp, looking at the forest, I still sense an overriding sentiment of this can't continue. Now, this is very interesting because remember the comment I just shared with you a second ago, okay? No euphoria anywhere. This is fascinating. It's about the stock market. And you say, okay, the crypto's not going to do what the stock market does, okay? Stocks are going to rip for years on end, and cryptos are going to go at the end of the year because that's what it always does every 4 years. I feel like that's we've presented a lot of reasons why that's not likely to be the case. If stocks continue to rip, crypto's going to keep ripping right with it. Anyway, Steve Depp, look at the forest. I still sense an overriding sentiment. This can't continue. No euphoria anywhere. Interestingly, when the S&P 500 records a 4-month winning streak that closes at a new all-time high monthly close, it's continued 9 and 10 months later, 18 times in a row since July 1980. Now, if you were betting that this time is going to be different to the downside, it's a very contrarian bet to make. Not saying it's the wrong bet just because it's happened 18 times before. Well, no, time number 19 is when it breaks. Sure, fine. But if, and we've shared a lot of charts like this that show that there is a decent chance that a lot of historical precedents, things that have happened with very high levels of certainty. We shared some great charts yesterday as well from Fundstrat and stuff like that, showing very similar ideas, but with different data points. If you're betting that everything's going to fall to pieces or top's already in, you're making a very, very contrarian bet right now because there has not been this euphoria, right? Everybody just keeps saying it can't keep going on like this. Surely the top must be in all the time. We're dealing with a lot of PTSD. People simply do not believe it. It's a hated rally when things rally. It's a lot of people are sidelined on. People are afraid to take risks still, right? To some extent. So we have not had this moment yet in the market where everybody believes it's going to keep going up simply forever and ever and ever. Okay. Any rallies we get tend to get faded within a few days. Okay. So yeah, I dig this kind of data because it backs up a lot of what I'm seeing with the business cycle, stuff like this. And I may be horrifically wrong, lose shit tons of money again. That's the game. Okay. But everything I'm seeing says that this market has a lot of fuel left in the tank. Okay. ETH currently not doing anything, not much to talk about. This nice rounded bottom is forming up here, though. We all love rounded bottoms. So when this breaks out beyond the 20-day EMA, probably going to be a nice move here for ETH, potentially putting in a new all-time high from that breakout. If you get a 50-day EMA rate test around $4,000, it's likely a bidding position. If you get a decent breakout above the 20-day EMA, also a bidding position. You see last 2 days, we pumped above the 20-day EMA, yellow line on the chart here. You can see the last 2 days we pumped above that, but what happened? Faded. Okay, so ETH's been having a hard time staying above the 20-day EMA, which means it's a very, very important level for ETH. Southern Stacker, sure, I grew jalapenos the year. I have tons. I'm putting them in everything. Dude, when I was visiting my dad this year in the States, went down to local farmer's stall place and bought like, I don't know, a few kilos of jalapenos, made jalapeno poppers and put them in just everything for like a week, man. Just in, salsa and stuff like that. Oh my God, they were so spicy. Like literally, you kind of stuff, your hands are like burning, you touch your eye and, anyway. At one point, I forgot that I'd been doing all that, went to the bathroom to take a leak, and, well, you know what happens in that situation, guys. It's no fun. Anyway, just throw that out there real quick. Continuing, Athena, 80 cents currently. Nice breakout from the triangle. Volumes have cooled down a little bit. You can see here, still maintaining decent volumes on this move, but they've cooled down a little bit, especially compared to this bigger run up here in July and into early August. I'm looking into Athena more and more. Man, jalapeno poppers are the shit, but not spicy enough for my spice head ass. I know, but sometimes not about how much spice there is. Sometimes just about enjoying the flavor, something like Frank's Red Hot, or, shout out to anybody in New Zealand who's tried Kaitaia Fire. They're spicy enough, right? Not like a super spicy sauce, but they got really nice flavor, right? I find with like the super hot sauces, it's tough to find good flavor. So many of them are just like punch in the face heat, but there's not actually a flavor behind them, you know? There's one, it's like, what the heck's it called? It's like Arizona Organics Habanero sauce, I think is what it's called. It's great. Great flavor and spicy as heck, man. That's a good one. Anyway, not hot sauce advice, guys. No hot sauce advice. Anyway, Athena. Look, they've had a lot of huge news announcements recently. I feel like it's got a great setup, but also all the news has been kind of blasted out over the last few, let's say, days. So I would not be surprised to see a retracement on this. But remember, we do have the digital asset treasury company that's coming. It's going to buy like 20% of the supply. We have the fee switch coming on soon. So my guess is if you do get any sort of decent dips on Athena, it will be gobbled up quickly. I still do not have a position, but it's in the consideration of for position. Solana, I finally redone my top line here. We've got enough change in market structure that's warranted, in my opinion. Now look, have a look at this right here. Got this big fat rising wedge going on. Now, typically you'd interpret a rising wedge as being a bearish chart pattern, right? My guess is that this will not end up being a bearish chart pattern. Now, if it is, we're nuking all the way back down to like 150, 160, something like that. That's another conversation. We're not having that conversation right now. We're still trading with the 20-day EMA with a strong uptrend in place. Now, what you want to see, two potential spots to go long here, okay? First, back down here at 20-day EMA and the uptrend line. So it's around $205, $206, okay? So limit bids in that spot. If we get a pullback, would be interesting. Now, the other side of the coin would be a breakout beyond the top line here, which is around $222 approximately. So obviously, an entry at 206 is going to be a lot juicier, but catching the 222 breakout, also not bad. Target on this chart pattern would be around $290. Let's say 300 approximately, okay? XLP will disappear to the spaghetti phenomena of XLM. Stellar Lumens to the moon. You know, Stellar Lumens is crazy one. It's been around for so long, but I feel like it just, what the heck is going on over on Stellar, man? What is going on? I don't even know. But guys, I'm sure I know some stuff is happening over there, but man. Anyway, it's a different conversation for a different day. This. Ben said, I've been checking out Pump.fun streams. So cool to see the permissionless crypto future that Satoshi envisioned finally coming to life, man. I said, hey, so these are the Byzantine generals everyone was always talking about. Pump.fun's so crazy. Why is it so crazy? I guess you give people financial incentives to do any kind of crazy shit on a live stream, and well, there you go. Anyway, Pump executed $2.5 million in buybacks just yesterday, assuming $800 million annual revenue, $2.2 million daily at a 40x PE ratio. The FDV would be $32 billion. The casino business overshadows financial markets. Revenue growth is expected as they enhance their streaming platform and the incentives model. It's still only at $2 billion, man. It's still only at $2 billion. I can just pick some watching my family. Sorry, Pratik. Anyway, Pump.fun craziness, okay? Pump.fun craziness. Pumping again today. The Pump coin is pumping. You know, the genius names of these tickers: Hype, Pump, Pengu. It's not as good a ticker, but holy crap, Pump and Hype. Genius name. Now look, Pump had another great pump today, and it's still only at $2 billion. Not fully diluted market cap, but circulating market cap of $2 billion. Honestly, I feel like this thing could still 10x, and it would be probably then like relative to the current revenues would be, makes sense. Anyway, Pump's going crazy, man. Let's effing go. You know, I don't know if I'm going to be buying any more Pump unless we get a decent pullback on it. Probably have enough of it now that if it does 10x, great. If not, well, you know, F Pump.fun. Well, you know, it's one of those old questions. Do you want to be right or do you want to make money? Yeah. I mean, like I said, like we just shared, Pump.fun, man, some crazy shit. but people love casinos, and it's not exactly a casino. It's a meme coin launchpad, guys. It's sophisticated. The reality is it's got incredibly strong buybacks going on right now. It's a strong narrative in the market, and the chart is doing this, okay? So there you go. There you go. Pudgy Penguins, the Pengu coin. We do like the penguin. Now, look, nice breakout the other day, consolidating just above the key breakout line. Pengu bulls, we want to see price maintain above this downtrend line right here. Close back under that. You need to see a very quick bounce off the 20-day EMA. Fail to do that, problems. Pump.fun is the #1 extractor. There's nothing sophisticated about it. Papa's, I know. You don't have to invest in every coin. You don't have to invest in Pump. We're not here to tell you what to invest in. That's not my game, okay? By the way, if you ever want to see portfolio disclosures, down below you can see what coins I own, all that kind of stuff, plus an important risk disclosure, okay? Because guess what? Investing in crypto is risky. You can lose all your money. I'm not giving out financial advice. Past performance not equate to future returns. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. Don't forget it. Look, there's a lot of ways to make money in the cryptocurrency market. You know, I think Pump Funds had a lot of very negative things for crypto overall, but I'm looking at the token, I'm looking at the price pump, and I'm looking at the buybacks and saying, yep, I'll take the money. I will make the trade. I'll make the trade, man. This is the thing. I trade all kinds of coins. Like, I don't love XRP. I know, shock. Lark does not bend the knee and praise the almighty bread garlic house. Bread garlic house. I get it. I know. But I trade it. I will trade the shit out of bread garlic house, man. It's a great coin to trade. Has nice clean charts. When it pumps like crazy. All about it, baby. That being said, it's pumping. I'll trade that, man. Let's go. Dogecoin, the Rex Osprey Dogecoin ETF has been passed. Now, look, this is, again, not a straight, clean ETF, okay? You can see it invests in, like, ETPs and stuff. Anyway, the point is you can get Dogecoin exposure via the Rex Osprey ETF on your stock brokerage if you want to do it now. We don't have the big ones yet. Again, people like Bitwise have applied for a Dogecoin ETF. All these big ETFs are coming. The next one that's coming is going to be Solana. I think Solana is the trade of the quarter right now. So I think we see Solana go up to potentially 1.618 Fibonacci line, which is around $444, with the digital asset treasury buys coming in and the ETF coming in. The deadline, they cannot postpone beyond this. It's either approve or deny. And because of the ongoing conversations we've seen with the SEC around the Solana ETF, it's more likely being approved than a deny, okay? That's 30 days from now. 30 days from now, we're likely to a Solana ETF with the trading starting a few days afterwards. Great. Dogecoin did have a nice little breakout the other day. We talked about that breakout here to watch out for at 23 cents, currently around 24 cents. It hasn't made a very big move yet. But if it can continue to consolidate, and I don't know, the Rex Osprey ETF's really the only thing it's got going on right now, which is not that exciting news, to be honest. But if it can keep the momentum up here, did have some decent volume on that breakout move. If it keeps momentum up, then it's a much higher price target. I think what the heck was this? Just draw the thing real quick, Lark. Yeah, 35 cents. I thought it was 35 cents. Okay, here you go. 35 cents is the breakout target from this triangle pattern right here. Okay, there you go. Now, most important time of the day. Hydrate. AI 16Z, you know, had its moment in the sun. I feel like the dev has really been a problematic character for a variety of reasons. I sold mine a while ago. Happy about that. Should have taken profits on it when the profits were there. Got greedy on the bag. Didn't do it. Anyway, that's life. But AI coins, I think there's a lot of great AI coins out there. If you want to look for big cap stuff, whether it's like, you know, BitTensor or something like that, or there's a lot of lower cap AI stuff that's obviously a lot riskier, but there's some pretty cool stuff happening out there in the AI coin space. AI 16Z, is that going to be the winner? I don't think I'd ride that crazy train again personally. Never say never, mind you, but yeah. Brett. Yeah, let's have a quick look at the Brett chart. Why the heck not? Let's bring a tab up here real quick. Give me 1 second. Let's bring up Brett. Like I say, guys, if you want a good bit of base exposure, it's Brett, it's Virtuals, and it's Aerodrome. That being said, I did not have any Brett. Currently, did have Brett, made some money on it. It was great. Now, that was all this random stuff I've drawn on the chart here. Brett currently, oh, look at that. That's interesting, isn't it? Some big volume spikes last few days. What is going on there? Look at that. We had these two volume spikes right back here on the 19th and 20th of August, okay? But these are very big volume spikes. I mean, just look at the average volume that Brett's been doing, okay? Just as an example, okay? Look. This is an extremely significant volume spike right here. Now, we can see, volume spikes do not always correlate with upwards price action, mind you. Sometimes they do, but it's very interesting to see that. Now, if we can see volume continuing like that, you may be looking at a potentially big move brewing here for Brett. Now, it did break down out of this triangle that we had been tracking a while ago. Currently sitting just back above the 20-day EMA, around 5 cents. So it was at 4 cents just the other day. Very critical area of price support there for Brett. If it can maintain above the 20-day EMA, perhaps there's a long trade in there for Brett. Interesting. Very interesting volume spike there. Maybe somebody knows something. Maybe it's finally getting a big listing somewhere, and that's the insiders front running that. Boom. Not ignoring you, bro. Just a lot of comments coming in. Take a look at Raydium. Raydium charts. Let's have a look at Raydium charts. RAYUSD. Here we go. Nice. Looking good. Nice solid uptrend, as you can see here, dating back all the way to April. Look. It's been pretty messy, but overall, it's going in the right direction, okay? Currently sitting, just bounced off the 50-day EMA 2 days ago, currently sitting at 20-day EMA. Look, I'm not like the biggest Ray bull in the world or anything here, but, chart's looking decent. Had a pretty good uptrend going on for a while here, as you can see. So that's good. Keep up that line. I think you're Gucci for a little bit here. Not bad. If you're long in here from the 20-day EMA, you have a pretty easy invalidation point just down here below the 50-day EMA. So there you go. Sell the news. What news are we selling? Sell all the news all the time. XRP from SEC lawsuit, Swift replacement, utility use, now ETF approval. Alibi to fly high XRP coins, CO and okay. There's a lot of positive tailwinds coming for XRP. Cannot argue with that. Doesn't mean it's going to 10x though. May your hairline always be plentiful. Can Say reach the top 15? Maybe. I don't even need to reach top 15, man. I just need to do a clean 10x, baby. Just go for what's it like? We're like $1 billion not now. Just go to 10 billion, man. Just go to 10 billion, Say. And I'll say, see you later, Say. Cut my bag, boom, make some money, be a great time. Currently, that's not happening. I don't need to be in the top 15. That's just a vanity metric. I just need to make money. That's all. Okay. If Bitcoin hits 180,000, well, that's about a little over 50, I'd say 60% from here. Does Sol hit $600 to $800? In that situation, Sol probably goes to the 2.618 Fibonacci line, which is right around $660, I think, give or take. Canary just applied for Say ETF. Yeah, I've seen. I think that's the second or third Say ETF application. There's a couple of them, aren't there? So that's good. Do you think strategy or Bitmine has bigger upside? I mean, just talking, not stock advice, obviously, but just talking strictly on market caps, I feel like Bitmine has a lot more upside potential, right? It's worth what, 1/10 or something or less. Yeah. So Bitmine's, I don't have any strategy. I have Bitmine. Attempt number 9, try and tell Lark to use minoxidil. I also have like a minoxidil. Do I have it down here? I don't have it down here. It's upstairs. Bring it down here, actually. Just hang out down the computer, just, rub some cream in my head. Be a great time. Anyway, I do have some of that. Minoxidil you can get over the counter here in Dubai. But if you want finasteride as well, I got to get a doctor's prescription for that. Is the red light hat for hair growth? Yeah, essentially. But, I think I'm going to get like a full red light bed. It's really good for your skin. A full red light bed, man. Just laying it for 10 minutes a day. I'm feeling like not buying Pump.fun and Hype, which I can't seem to get anyway in the USA, are bad decisions. I'm going to live to regret. From what I'm hearing, sounds like they're going to continue up. J-Man, this is the thing. When Hype came out, it was one of the few airdrops I didn't farm because I was so jaded from farming airdrops and just wasting my time and barely even getting back my gas fees on most of them. I was just over it. And like everybody's like, okay, got to farm Hyperliquid, man. You got to farm Hyperliquid. I was like, I just don't want to farm. I'm over it, man. I'm over it. I remember, I don't know, doing like tens of millions in volume on one of the airdrops and ended up getting like, I don't know, a couple $100 an airdrop. I was like, what the fuck? Anyway, so I didn't farm Hyperliquid. And then it came out. It's like, $3. I'm not going to buy people's airdrop bags, man. It's noob shit, Lark. Don't do that. Things that go down, if it has any staying power, it'll go down, like $1 or something first. And yeah, then we can look at it. Okay. No. Went from $3 to $6 in the first few days. Very, very little space to get positioned. Okay. No mercy for sideliners. And then it just started going up, and it kept going up, and it keeps going up, and it keeps dominating. I looked at the revenue. Somebody posted something today. Is like the Nasdaq has done $1.1 billion in revenue, and Hyperliquid's done $1.3 billion. It's doing the kind of volumes that like Binance and stuff are doing already. Like it's a crazy protocol, and it's got extremely aggressive buybacks, and it's only worth $13 billion currently. Does that mean it should be worth 10x what it is right now? I don't know. Still feel like I don't want to rush into a position. At the same time, I look at some stuff like my AVAX bags, and it's like, dog, AVAX ain't been doing shit for a very long time. It's been like a stable coin. It's been stuck. Oh, this undervalued, and the fundamentals are great. Why is the price not going up then? I like things where the price goes up. It's like, great idea. Altcoins, but when the price goes up, that's good shit, right? Well, some of them are doing that. Not enough of them, but some of them are. Anyway, continuing. One or two more here, guys. Don't touch finasteride. There you go. Just red light, baby. Have a big red light lamp does wonders. Yeah, I got a full bed, man. Full bed. The Say charts. Yes. Let's look at the Say charts. Why not? That is a good idea. Say chart's looking decent, man. Looking decent. It's had a nice move from the lows of the market. We can see here, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. That's problematic right there. So this is the one spot where, okay, we did not get our higher high coming in yet. So right now, what are we looking at? We're looking at approximately this forming up. It's pretty rough. Probably do a better job of drawing that triangle. But anyway, you get the general idea here. Currently forming up in a triangle after a big uptrend. Now, usually that's the kind of thing that you look at and say, okay, that's going to break out to the upside. Okay, so the odds would be that the price goes up, that breaks out to the upside, and currently was at 31 cents. So currently trading above the 20 and 50-day EMAs, which are currently having a bullish crossover as we speak. You can see the yellow line is about to go back over the blue line, which means the shorter term moving average is about to cross back over the longer term moving average. Good. Not looking bad, man. Not looking bad, to be honest. My Say bags here. Now I'm not buying any more Say, but you know what? Fair play, Say. Looking decent. Now let's 10x, baby, and go to $3. Fantastic. Hate the treasury companies. They sucked all the liquidity out. Yeah, you know, comes and goes. The liquidity. Lark, don't touch Finestri. Oh boy. Yeah, maybe I'll just stick to my red light hat, guys, and the minoxidil once in a while. If I go bald, I go bald. It's not worth it, you know. Bald's cool too, man. Start losing all the hair and just shave it off. It's not doing too bad right now, to be honest. But anyway, Linea TGE today. Yes, let's go. Woodsy, Alf, I remember that show from I watched it in the 90s, but that must be from the 80s. Was that an 80s show? I swear it was an 80s show. How about a mullet next time? I'm not cool enough for that, man. Not cool enough for that. Pump is on Kraken in Canada. Well, the thing is with stuff like Pump or Hyperliquid, just buy it on chain, man. Just buy it on chain, baby. If you want to get Pump, you know, just go and buy it on Jupiter. Buy it through your Phantom wallet. It's easy like that. Okay, you can get money. You can get Solana. You can get USDC under your Solana wallet. And you can buy anything in the world, basically. Comment of the day. Why is a group of squid not called a squad? Perfect. Lark, you ate a video with Savage. I wasn't trying to be savage. This is the thing. Just that's what's going on. Anyway, we've kicked Cardano enough in the balls. May it pump. May the crypto gods align and your ADA bags pump for all the ADA holders out there. Pump is the flavor of the cycle. Benito, yeah, sure. Let it be the flavor of the cycle. You know what's the flavor of the cycle last time? Solana, Avalanche, Terra Luna, whatever, right? Axie. Don't marry it, baby. Don't marry it. Don't marry any of your bags, except maybe Bitcoin. It's a complicated relationship. But other than that, don't marry anything. Get in, make the trade, make the money, get the fuck out. It's that easy. Well, you know, easy to say. It's a lot more complicated in actual process, but don't marry any of your bags. Flavor of the cycle, fantastic. I'm all about the flavor of the cycle, baby. If it's going to 10x, then that is going to be one of my favorite coins of the cycle. Linea coming to Binance in a few hours. I do not buy coins on listing day. I'll wait a few weeks, man. I'll wait a few weeks. John, Lark, why don't you tell your followers about Caspa? I've been watching you for years and I'm disappointed. Look, John, at the end of the day, I can't talk about every coin. Facts, man. There are literally thousands and thousands of coins. And while I understand that the Caspa devotees believe that Caspa is the new coming of Satoshi, it's interesting. We've looked at Caspa before. We've done research on Caspa for the newsletter. We've done, you know, big deep dives on X and stuff like that. What we've talked about it here on the channel quite a few times. But it's never really sparked my wallet to open up, essentially. So no hate. I hope your bag goes to the moon, but it's not something that's in my portfolio. Same on the jalapeno. You got to be careful, Alec. You got to be careful, man. Any thoughts on Walrus? I like Walrus. I like Walrus. Walrus is an interesting one. I do not hold a bag, but I think it's just Wall, isn't it? Yeah. I don't hold a bag. However, I think Walrus is a pretty interesting coin. Man, it's held up actually pretty decently. Now, obviously, look. Oh, yeah, put the chart on the screen, Lark. It's held up pretty good. If you're a Sui bull, then I think something like Walrus is a great sort of beta play to that. I don't have a Walrus bag, and I use the Sui network sometimes for some stuff, but I don't have any sort of investment level of Sui either. But it's been interesting. Look at that. Look at that. It's actually very interesting. Actually, I'm going to put on this. put a rectangle in here because look at this nice support zone. Very strong support zone here for Walrus in this sort of 36 to 38 cent zone. Nice. Currently chilling just here above the 50-day EMA. I mean, that's a decent looking chart, man. We had some nice volume spikes recently. People are obviously interested in buying it. Currently sitting here with potential EMA 2050 crossover coming, which could spell some bullish momentum building up here for Walrus. I'm not in a position. I'm probably not going to take a position, not even for a trade. I have other coins I watch charts more of in trade, but you know what? Fair play, Walrus, looking decent, and there's a very clear support zone if the price does fall down again. That's where to look to stack bids at. Okay, one or two more questions, guys. We're going to finish up for today. I don't want a droopy doodler. I'll take the hair loss, man. I'll take the hair loss. Anyway. Do you think all this BS with the jobs numbers will let out down pressure on the markets? It doesn't seem so far. U.S. Market futures are all in the green. Crypto has not really reacted at all. Again, it's very backward-looking information. This was the data that finished in March of this year, so it was basically all the 2024 data. So not that big of a deal. The current jobs reports are much more impactful versus something that happened almost a year ago at this point. So I don't think it's a big deal. Market's telling us also it's not a big deal. Russian drones are not a big deal. Strikes in Qatar are not a big deal. And jobs numbers from last year also not a big deal. Okay, markets keep grinding. Do you own Tau? I do not. Of course, full portfolio disclosures, as always, down below here. Why is Litecoin so Litecoin? I swapped 16 Bitcoin in 2017, 18 for Litecoin. Watch the bag go to zero. Litecoin, man, you know, it's just one of those ones where it's like, you know, people have this sort of like, but it's the silver to Bitcoin's gold. It's not a good comparison because silver actually has real use cases, right? Silver's using all kinds of stuff in the real world, right? Litecoin doesn't really have any use cases. And this is not me bashing on Litecoin. I actually like Litecoin, okay? I think it's an honest coin. It's a nice proof of work mining coin. Fine. Maybe the ETF will be the spark here to get Litecoin to go from 10 to 40, 50 billion market cap or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, Litecoin, man, definitely has very short moments of interest. Let's put it that way. So if you are looking at Litecoin for a trade, it's just a trade, man. I wouldn't sort of just passively hold a big bag of Litecoin in my portfolio. Me personally, you guys can do whatever you want with your money, obviously, but yeah. Does Aptos still potential hit $10 a second? Yeah, $10 doesn't even feel like a big lift for Aptos this cycle. The question is, going to do anything more than that? That's the tricky part. Haven't heard you speaking about Partizia blockchain. Oh yeah, I invested in that. That was just goodbye money. Goodbye money. Yeah, never sold a single one of the coins. Just got them, staked them for my pre-sale investment. Just watched it all go to zero. It's good times. Good times. A lot of such cases. Might be a jalapeno for Halloween. That would be a good one, actually. That would be a good one. That'd be a pretty good one, actually. Still bullish on Plume. Actually nuked my Plume bag this week. Sold it for Pump. See how it plays out. I'm trying to really consolidate my portfolio down to like 10 coins. So there's probably a few other things that are going to get cut in the next week or two, just so I can have very small consolidated bets of coins. You know, when I look at things like, I 0.1% of my portfolio in this coin, like, what the hell's the point, man? What's the point? Just find things I got higher conviction on, just plow bigger chunks of capital into those. Anyway, that's it. You're awesome. I appreciate your time. Somehow I cannot keep these damn streams under 45 minutes, but I hope you had a good time. I have a good time as always hanging out and talking to you guys. So thanks for hanging out. We'll be back tomorrow for more good times and more free money giveaways. They'll be awesome. All right. Peace. Bye.